up, fellas?
What up? What up? What up?
Ew, Aaron got a new backdrop.
Well, for right now, I'm on my damn kitchen table, man. I just moved, man. I'm in the process of moving, and the thing is about me, bro, is when I move or when I get something new, everything has to be brand new. So literally everything in the old location is being sold, and everything over here is literally being brand new. New desk, new couch, new sound system, new everything, bed, everything. You know what I mean? So,
It's
yeah,
an
man,
upgrade.
it's definitely an upgrade because the closet, I can't wait to show y'all the closet. It's absolutely crazy. It's literally a bedroom in its own. I'm having a guy custom build a 120 pair shoe wall for me in there as well. So I'm really excited about that because y'all know we play around with shoes just a little bit. Um, but yeah, man, I'm just blessed, man. I've had a great career. Bodybuilding has given me the platform to kind of make the money that I make today. And shout out to my sponsors as well because without them, this none of this would be possible. So I'm doing pretty well for myself. And me and the lady, me and the missus, we got a couple different businesses that we've started. So everything is just flowing and it's in the play. And tomorrow I actually fly out to Miami because she'll be on national TV again,
Damn.
selling her products in Miami. So that's super exciting. She's a go-getter, bro. She's someone who's motivated me to become a better entrepreneur,
Do you ever
So
fear, as an entrepreneur, do you ever fear that it's all gonna go away?
yeah, every day.
Right?
Because I wake up, I be like, did I make money today? Like,
But that's what pushes you, the fear of being
you
average, you know?
it's the thing about that is just like it gives me it gives me a sense of motivation to never quit and then to always think about, well, shit, if this shit left today, like, what are my kids? Like, it
Yeah.
always comes back to my kids. So, like, what are my kids gonna do? Like, if I go broke or you know what I mean? So
But the one thing you have is the mindset, because I remember this quote. It was, if you take $1 million away from a millionaire who made it, they'll know how to make it again. But if you take
absolutely,
$1 million away from somebody who had it handed to them, they're going to blow through it and be broke. So once you
absolutely,
get there and you know how to make it, you can make that shit again. So that's what
absolutely.
keeps you hungry. Yeah.
And to be honest, like, I'm
Hold
on
on.
the verge, I'm on the verge of hitting that number.
This reminds me of Aaron. He texted me. He's like,
He, he's sitting in the other one, huh? That's why I text. That's
The
why
other
I text.
chat room, he clicked
bro,
the
I don't
wrong
know what
link
this other
I
chat
don't
room
know.
is.
I don't know why you
because you
send
just sent
two.
this one like 2 minutes before, and I just saw it because I refreshed it. Otherwise, I was going to go back to the other one. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
Oh,
know.
I don't know why on my end it doesn't
I don't
show
know
that, but
why
it's
you send Google Meetings. Like, what the hell?
bro, it automatically adds it to it, and I don't know why. But
Uh,
it's so funny. I'm gonna start taking like all these screen grabs of people sending me photos in the
Yeah.
waiting room, bro. It's hilarious. Dude,
bro,
have
we're
you
waiting on you. We're waiting on you.
So it makes
But
it
no,
fun. None of this shit's planned either.
Oh
the
yeah.
thing is, man, is just hitting back to what we were talking about. I'm really close to, actually um making that type of money a year. Like I can't wait to hit that I make a million a year mark. Like
I was
that's
gonna
a
ask
goal.
you, what is it? What's that number in your head that I'm good? If I can maintain this, I'm good. Doesn't exist.
If I can make personally, like I was good when I first made my first $100,000. I signed a contract. I'm like, shit, I made $100,000. But no, now I'm at the point where it's a lot more than that. But I just think personally, like if I can make $1 million a year, I'm good. I'm good. Because the thing is, it's like I've already got my kids' plans set up. I got my burial already set up. I got everything personally, set up to where I don't think my family would need to do anything else besides, but to, live life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's considered comfortable for you, or that's more than that.
It's not comfortable because I would never be satisfied. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? The thing is, like, I would love to be a multimillionaire, and continue to grow these businesses the way I'm growing them right now. But at the end of the day, you have to take baby steps. I made the 100,000, I made the 200,000, I made the 300,000, I made the 400,000. It's just now
too much ain't enough though, because then you start buying more expensive shit, and then you gotta keep up with it. So you have goals, but once you get there, then it's like, now I can afford this car, but now I need more money so I could get this car. Like,
I see Ali with the bags. I see Ali with the nice suits. I don't know if a middle a year is comfortable enough for him. But what up, brother? How you been?
What's up, guys? How are you guys doing?
I'm good, man.
What up, bro?
How is everything? Ben,
good, man. I like the setup.
Why is your face not swollen? I'm like all swollen, bro. Like, look at me, bro. Look,
Hey, man.
It's all in your head.
Yeah, it's all in my head, literally.
Yeah.
It all goes here, man. My physique is still okay, but all goes here, bro.
And then guys.
The
Yeah.
body rebounds very differently, you know.
Especially the flights that makes it even worse, you know. Like I plan all this stuff, like good restaurants, you know, our anniversary and my wife's birthday right after the Arnold. So I plan all the restaurants, everything. And once you're done competing, man, you can't even stand up. You're like so tired and exhausted. And then you eat, you force yourself to eat and eat.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you force yourself to eat and eat. And then you need to fly like 12 hours. And that makes it even worse, man. It's like crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. Like, even after the show, like, I went and ate that cheesecake, bro. I ate so much, I was just uncomfortable. Like, it was.
Yeah, it becomes more of like a, you know, like a, you don't enjoy it anymore, right?
And that's the thing. Like, I feel like I didn't even eat. I don't feel like I ate because
you don't even want to eat, right? You don't even want to eat. And the next day you wake up and you feel like all your 16 weeks of prep is gone in 16 hours.
Down the drain.
Right? Everything is gone.
That's the mental game of bodybuilding, man.
It's
like,
crazy, man. Like, I plan all these photo shoots and everything. And after the show, you don't even want to take pictures. You're like done with that shit, you know.
You don't.
And before the show, you don't have the energy. So you're like, okay, I will do it after the show. And after the show, you can't do it because you feel so down. Especially if you win, you're exhausted. If you lose, you're exhausted. It doesn't matter. You know how you end up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
absolutely.
So,
especially with all the stuff going on right now, and I want to take a turn right into it. I actually want to start it off by playing your video, because there's some people who may not have seen it or might need a refresher, but I thought it was pretty impactful, and I want to make sure that there's no gray area. And I thought it was amicable that you clean some things up too, on the back end.
What's up, everyone? I just wanted to come here on social media and say a few things about the Arnold Classic. It's been 5 days since I won this show. And if you ask me how I feel, if I'm happy with the win, of course I am, But it just gave me a bit of mixed feeling, this show. Because everything I see on social media, everything that's going on, like Arnold saying the show day, that men's physique was stupid division and you don't know why IFBB created it. It just killed the whole happy vibes for me. I don't know why. So I've decided this was my last ever Arnold Classic. I'm not going to go to a show where my division, where I get treated with disrespect. I don't think it's fair that an open division get 500,000, classic get 60K, and a men's physique division only get 10,000. It's not fair. We prep as hard as the classic guys or the open guys. We train as hard. We bring a good conditioning. We bring a good physique. If you just go to Middle East or whatever Asian countries, if you see how popular men's physique is, it's crazy. It brings so much money. Just see my reach. When I post a video or some open guy post a video, nothing against anyone, it gets a crazy reach. It's very, very popular division. I'm not saying it's one of the most popular, but it's a very popular division. And, I'm going to go to shows like Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, which are big shows where we get treated with respect that we deserve because we really work hard for this one. Imagine you prepping for 16 weeks and then you go to a show and someone tell you, oh, who invited you here? We don't even like you. It doesn't feel good, I think. So I just want to say my opinion. I don't care what whoever thinks about it. That's it.
All right. So there's obviously some pretty strong, impactful words there. I haven't seen a community come together like that in ever. You know, I've been a fan of men's physique for a really long time. When I saw that video, I'm sitting in my car and I'm in awe, you know. So I want to give the floor to you, man. You know, what inspired you or what, pushed you to make a video that was that impactful?
So the rebound made it even worse, right? You already feel rebounded and everything else that's going on. It hits double, it makes it even worse. So what actually happened was like, I after the show, first of all, I won the show and I got like pretty good. I was backstage with Jay and Phil Heath, and they all came together. They were like, "Wow, we have your physique is crazy. You're like the guy on stage. You come up, we remember you. So they're all very very positive things. And but then when I went home and I started seeing these, I didn't knew until like I really got to after the meal, after the show, I went to like the Airbnb and I start scrolling and I see Arnold everywhere. Like there's a red cross on me, on my
Yep.
physique, and there's Arnold saying, all these things. The next day, I didn't even really think about it. The next day, I woke up and I see it in Persian and Hindi in every language. All the media is posting it. Like I'm like, why is there a cross over me? Like, I prepped so hard. I didn't even want to do the Arnold. They invited me. The guy Lloyd, he called me. He called Tyler to invite me to the Arnold. Then he called me to get me to this show. You bring me to your show,
Yeah.
okay? I do your show, and then after the show, you talk shit about us. Like, what's the point? You don't like the board shorts? You had the option to bring 212, right?
Hmm.
Why was there no 212? They could have brought 212, right? Because it doesn't bring money.
Exactly.
So they brought us there, and then they didn't disrespect me like specifically, but a lot of the guys I watched CD coming on stage, like really, it's not nice. Like we are 2025. We're not anymore. Like Arnold didn't have the best legs, to be honest. I'm sorry, but like we're not in 90s anymore.
Yeah.
We're 2025. The division has changed. There's so many more divisions. There's classic physique. Classic was not that famous as well. Chris Bumstead made the classic physique, right?
Yep.
He made it famous. Maybe it can be me, it can be Banks, it can be anyone that's also going to make the men's physique as big as classic. You never know.
Exactly.
It is already huge. And so what happened, like, it really, like, it's really bothered me, the win, I didn't really enjoy the win. I came back home and I was training in the gym the other day, and I see like someone like cut Arnold's head and put it on my body, and laughing with it. It was just a post some Brazilian media posted, and it really hit me. I'm like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
And I sat in the car and I made the video and I thought about it. I saved it, and I was like, it can go really wrong because Arnold is like huge in the industry. I love him, like he was a role model. I watch all his videos, I watch all his movies, and he inspired us, like all of us, to get into. He made the bodybuilding huge, but bodybuilding made him huge. You forget that, right?
Yep.
What came first, IFBB or Arnold? IFBB, right?
100%.
IFBB made the Arnold, and now Arnold is saying he's better than the Olympia and better than the IFBB, but that's their problem. So that's right?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
What came first? So whatever. So I made the video and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna see if I get the support. Okay, if I don't, I'm gonna say my opinion, because it's really tough to be like the first person say that thing. And when I said it, there was like two of my friends that sent me right away, delete the video, it's not good. I'm like, give me 5 minutes. And then once I saw the reach and people saying positive things, I was like, okay, thank God, and I talked to the people in the industry. Like I got literally message from every, big bodybuilder, classic physique guys, all the champions, 212 guys. There's a lot of bikini girls who text me, a lot of like figure girls, who don't get. It's not only us. We have the problem. There's a lot of figure fitness. There's so many divisions. They like to have it, but they don't. There's so many divisions they don't get respect, right?
That's what it is. They don't.
You know, the thing is, we don't get any money up front. We don't get anything to come to the show.
Yeah.
We spent 16 weeks prepping for a show. 16 weeks. We can't go out with our partners to eat. We leave our kids at home, you know? Like, we can't go celebrate their birthdays. There's so many sacrifices that we make. You know, all these bikini girls, wellness girls, all these women, us, you know, we all go through the same thing. It's 16 weeks of our life. We go somewhere, we bring value to them. We don't get any value until we win.
Yeah.
There's only one person in that show that wins, and they have 50 guys competing in that show, 50 guys paying tanning, 50 guys paying everything. Like you know, they're going there, they're paying their flights, they're paying their hotel, and all they want is a little bit time on stage to show their best physique, you know, to be appreciated, right?
I couldn't agree more. And
if you can't even give that back in return, you know, that's like.
And when you came out about it, man, I thought it was such a strong message, and seeing the amount of, you know, divisions come together and back you, classic, figure. I've gotten a lot of messages just simply about, you know, the videos in themselves that I've made regarding the topic. And I don't remember the time this has ever happened. Now, from your perspective as an athlete, I thought it was extremely strong. And as a fan, right? I'm at the Honor Classic as a fan right now. I'm watching it, you know, from the crowd. I'm watching the live stream. And the part that really bothered me, and I want to make this very clear, like you said, Arnold to me was like a hero growing up. Like,
exactly, yeah, that's the thing. You know, it's hard for me as well to talk about something like that. You know, It's very hard because you look up to that person, right?
Exactly, and that's why it was hard for me. And you know, I always say this: everybody has an Uncle Arnie or a Grandpa Arnie where they're kind of set back in their ways, right? And we will always respect them, you know. But I also think that it was just disrespectful. The time and the place. You can have your opinion, right? If he doesn't like men's physique, that's fine. You know,
exactly. Yeah.
Open guys don't like men's physique, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, it was the time and place, right? Instead of them talking about how good Sid Poirier's physique looks, or Jason Hugh, or all these guys who are on stage while they're talking negatively about the division, they took the whole live stream to talk down the division rather than educate the fans who are there, to also potentially, you know, bridge people who are there to watch Classic over to potentially respecting men's physique. And it's wild to me that it's board shorts that separate, or the only thing that's overshadowing the bridge between our division, or better yet, the respect for our division and everybody else.
But let me tell you why Tyler chose to have men's physique. He decided to have men's physique. And let me tell you why I will never do bodybuilding or classic. There's different reasons for it, okay? It's not because, you know, I don't have legs, so I don't want to show my legs. There's a different reason. First of all, I'm Muslim, okay? If I take off my pants completely and I show my glutes and everything else, I go back to Afghanistan. It's going to be a different story for me. They're not going to, first of all, they're never going to show me on a live TV with me wearing a G-string, or what do you call it? This thing, right? Yeah. You know, they're never going to show me on a live TV in Afghanistan. My mother will not be able to see it. My sisters will not be able to see it, because we, in Islam, in Muslim culture, we're not allowed to see a man's like private parts, right? Here you see everything, literally, like the short is going between the glutes. I love bodybuilding. I love to see all that, you know, but there's a lot of other people in this world. There's like 5-6 billion people living in Asia. Why do you think bodybuilding is so popular in Dubai? When you go to Dubai show, men's physique. When you go to Kuwait, when you go to Qatar, why is everybody men's physique? Because they don't like to show they're Muslims. There's a religion thing. They don't like to show their private parts. You know, a man is not allowed to do that. So when you wear a short, you can still do you have the love for bodybuilding. You can compete in bodybuilding, but you keep it, you know, it's a religion thing as well. So
Yeah.
there's so many people, they choose men's physique for different reasons. That's why I chose it.
That's
I-
education.
That's why I chose it. You know, like when you go to Oxygen, Oxygen is the mecca of bodybuilding. When you go in there, there's like 99% of the dudes there is men's physique.
Mhm.
If they're a classic guy or bodybuilder, when they do posing, they don't take their pants off completely. They have the long board shorts on. That's how they do their posing. Go check their page. They will never post a trunk. So there's like a different reason for a lot of people. Not everybody want to see someone's ass, you know? Not everybody's a fan of that.
So
Not everyone lives in America. There's people who live outside of America. There's people, we have different fans. You
since
see,
since you've made your video, I've obviously seen a lot of people come together, but I've also seen a lot of new voices rise in order to either back Arnold or simply, back quote unquote the open bodybuilding, focused mindset. Have you noticed any kind of added hate to your plate, or has it been?
no, I've not seen any hate. Look, I love bodybuilding. I think bodybuilding should always be the top, right?
Yes.
Because we
Yes.
would have never been there if bodybuilding was not there.
Yeah.
We are there because of the bodybuilding, right? But let's just go back to where bodybuilding started. How did they start it? How many shows do you think they had when Arnold was competing? 4 or 5 shows. One was like in the US, Mr. Universe. One was like somewhere in South Africa. One was in the UK, and one was Night of Champions in New York. There was like 5 shows a year. How much money does that bring?
Yeah.
How many shows do we have now? A lot. Every week we have shows. But how many of those shows have bodybuilding, open bodybuilding?
See,
70% of the shows don't have open bodybuilding because there's not a lot of open bodybuilders. There's not a lot because there's a lot of men's physique people, right, guys, right? If you have 100 men's physique, there's maybe 5 open bodybuilders, right? So 5 bodybuilders, how many shows do you think an open guy can do a year? Not a lot. They most of the guys do 2 shows a year. But how many shows do you think a men's physique guy can do? A lot, because we don't have to go so extreme. We're always in shape. We're always in the weight limit. We're not that big. We don't have to go extreme with the bulking extreme. So men's physique is like always. There's so many shows in Europe. They only have classic men's physique and bikini. Most of the time, only men's physique and bikini. Because they're always in shape. They always know they're going to show up because there's also many.
Yeah.
So that's the difference, right?
I wanna give a quick shout out. There's a guy who made a YouTube video that broke down kind of all of the things that people were saying about numbers and showing why men's physique was actually growing or at a higher consistency when it comes to the NPC shows, or better yet, the national shows here in the States. And it shows between 2021 to 2024 that men's physique has been consistently amongst the highest in all of the national shows, right? So the numbers back it, right? And I think there's clear reasons why the division is thriving, and the relatability aspect. And I think a lot of people like the Matt Gregos. I think the people like the Kaikis. I think there's people like the Sadiqs who have started.
Logan Franklin, even.
Franklin.
He's another guy who's like more people could see now, to where it's paying off in all the years, it built his physique being in men's physique. And,
Exactly.
it's a gateway for a lot of people. And also, a lot of us aspire to have a physique more so like men's physique. And obviously we could grow into other divisions, but there's a lot of people that don't want to do open. There's a lot of people, especially women. Back in the day, they didn't have bikini. It was women who, it was physique, right? Not a lot of women wanted to have that look. So creating these categories helps other people fit into the division of how not only, the criteria fits their look, but what they truly want to do. There's a lot of divisions that, we don't necessarily like the criteria. We might watch it, but we don't want to look at ourselves. right? And bodybuilding, there's a lot of different things that go into that. You might not be able to compete as often, the supplementation, the amount of food, the genetics that you even have. So you go with the division that best fits you. Doesn't mean you're always going to be there, but you can progressively go to another division. And that's the point of having other divisions. We all do the same thing. We all work just as hard, even bikini. People may disagree with it. And I used the analogy the other day. I don't watch tennis. I don't like golf, but I'm not going to go to a tennis and golf page and start talking shit about competitors because I don't like it. I'm not going to tell them what they should and shouldn't do. It's something that I personally don't like, but more power to them. It's the same thing with men's physique. And the biggest thing before we go any further, I wanted to say this. Arnold, before he even started the show, he literally said that the Arnold represents fitness from all walks of life, just to keep moving, to keep, that because moving is ultimately what's going to keep you alive. You can't slow it down.
When you open bodybuilder, you can't really move that much.
True. But
we're not really representing moving right here. If we're going to moving, we should go more to like men's physique, classic physique, everything, right? I'm not saying open should always be there. That's like the king of bodybuilding, but if you really want to do like moving thing, then you should go like with everyone. Gymnastic, you should add everything. Yeah. You should add bikini, you should add all these categories, and you should make them even like hype them even more, because that's what you really want to represent.
I think
exactly.
And I think what Drew was hitting on was perfect, because you're right. He did say that. He was more
at the beginning. It's all like he had Lee Greenwood come out, sing some beautiful songs for America. And I was watching production. I'm like, this is good. It made me want to do the 2026 Arnold. I'm like, this is awesome. Like supporting the country. You're bringing out these people. Your show represents fitness. They got arm wrestling. They got powerlifting. They got even slap boxing, He's got all kinds of different stuff that's going on for all different types of people, which means that each person has a preference. So to hit on one specific division for being something that he doesn't personally like when he's a promoter, whether people say he was in charge of it or not, he's choosing to have it at a show. And ultimately it's a money thing. But what's weird to me is that you have arguably the most popular division by people that are competing. They're getting the least amount of money included with bikini. And even the chart that you just pulled up, Alex, that doesn't include subcategories. That doesn't include masters. That doesn't include novice competitors at nationals. It doesn't include any of that. And it doesn't include the women's divisions either, because that also brings the totem pole to the overall prize money higher. And a lot of the people that are paying entrance fees and, everything to compete at these shows, a lot of that prize money is going to the open, which I think that, I agree. Open is always going to be the pinnacle. It's the division that paved the way for all other divisions. But also now we have to recognize that there are more divisions to where it's bringing the lump sum of cash to a higher magnitude that it's never been before. And we're all giving it to other divisions that aren't evenly dispersed.
The numbers of the shows that you just showed, were they only from the USA?
That was only from US.
Just national shows.
US have the most open shows. If you go to Asia, if you come to Europe, 70% of the shows don't have open. Okay. If you go to Asia, 80% of the shows don't have open. So just think about that, right? And we are talking here like men's physique doesn't bring anything, or, I think I am the most,
you can say,
I think the fastest grown athlete the last year.
Yeah.
No open bodybuilder. I gained 1.1 million followers in 9 months. That's a lot, I think, right?
That's a shit ton.
Yeah. Last time we had you on here, you gained about 900K, because I went back to it yesterday. I kind of take notes and everything. When we first have you on here, you're around like 450, 500K. Now you're at 1.3 million.
when I went to Pittsburgh, I had 290,000.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's going pretty fast, and when you see my on my how many people saw my account the last 30 days, it's like 120 million. That's a lot of people that see my account, So I don't think any open bodybuilder has that. If you go to Samson's account, he get reach of like get like 50 comments. Yeah, I'm not like talking bullshit. You can just go see it, and just see the reach, just see that, and that's like 120 million people who sees IFBB everywhere.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And
right.
And listen, and that's the thing. And I think the chart that we were just highlighting also showed the amount of money that was being brought in at the national level over the last couple of years or by the men's physique division. Now, I wanted to play this clip here of your coach talking about what he thinks, and then I want to get your thoughts on the financial side of things.
It'd be $100,000 for the men's physique.
Well, I mean, it's 20 times what the men's open bodybuilder won.
Right, but that's always the case with every division aside from men's open.
I know, but here's the problem, Dave. I just told you that this division
there it is. That's the interview. Yeah, we did with him.
Is carrying the NPC. It is.
Right, it's carrying the NPC, but it's not carrying the IFBB.
Yeah, but guess what? One feeds into the other.
And he said it as simple as that. Aaron.
Okay, I have a comment on that. 1 second. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
We're talking here about Arnold Classic, or you have a big show like Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro. We have the Dubai Pro. These are like big shows. They pay good money. I got, by the way, just to make something clear, I got 14,700 from the Arnold. They took tax off. Yeah, they took tax off, conversion rate, all these things. So I'm left with 14,700 something. Okay, just want to make that clear from the 25,000. Now let me just tell you something.
Wait,
it's crazy, right?
Oh,
so we are talking here about, I did other shows in Europe here where I got $2,000 for a first prize. We are living in Europe. Why do we have dollars? Why do you pay dollars? Okay, from $2,000, they took 400 euros to convert the money to euros. I'm left with 1,600, right? From 1,600, they took 300 tax. I'm left with, like, how much is that? 1,300, right? From 1,300, they took 200 to send it through PayPal. I'm left with 1,100. Is that correct to you?
No.
Oh,
is a 16-week prep worth $1,100?
Absolutely not. You can argue it's not worth $2,000. No, absolutely not.
Why do you pay dollars in Europe? If you go to compete in China, do they pay you in yen, or do they pay you in dollars? They pay you in Chinese yen. If you compete in Dubai, do they pay you in dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
They give you the money. I went to Pittsburgh. I won the show. They gave me a check right away. I went to the bank. I cashed it. I got the exact amount. Here in Europe, they have to go. They give you $1. Is a board, say $2,000. Like, we're doing a show in European country. Why do we need dollars? We're not in America, right?
Yeah.
The currency here is dollars, euros. So then they need to take. They make their own conversion rate. They take like their own taxes. They send it through PayPal. Then they take money a little bit of everywhere. Like, why do we need to go like so? An athlete who is already paid so much work, so hard. Why do we need to take every little amount out of him? Why is it that necessary?
I couldn't agree more. And I competed in India. I won prize money, and I've got it in what was it?
Rupees, yeah, rupees.
Yes, rupees. Thank you. And it made sense. My question, but I want to go back to the Arnold. So you came out and said you corrected your video. You said that it was actually 25,000. But can you go back? You only got 14,000 out of that.
14,700, just to be correct.
And is that because of
they made their own taxes system? I don't know how they calculated it. They took out taxes and everything, and I still didn't receive the money, by the way. I hope I will receive it. So that's all I'm left with, and I hope I don't have to pay taxes from this at the end of the year.
Well, it's okay. I mean,
what's crazy to me?
No, wait. It's okay. Second place only got 7,000. 25 to 7,000. So you
14 to 7,000 is only half.
Wait.
You're still good.
So that's about 35%. And then you look at Open getting 500K. That would put them around right around that $280,000 mark. So they're taking off 130 even for them.
I don't think they did it.
I don't think they did it for them.
They get
well,
a
that
hundred.
just that proves our case even more, right? So I was talking before we even started this, and the only way that makes a difference is when, nobody's going to listen to the guy that's, second, third, fourth, fifth. Usually the guy that wins a show, you need to hear it from the champ specifically, because they're the guys that are thinking rational, right? Especially when you start to dissect it. There's a lot of guys in Ali's position that would never say anything about anything, and
100%.
Sometimes you think it can affect you, your reputation. You think that, you don't know how it's going to go, especially your friends like kind of messaging you before and saying, delete that video. But I think what you're doing right now is a wake up call to a lot of these people, because this is a business. If men's physique guys, and I know Corey Morris agreed, Banks agreed, you're getting a lot of top guys. I don't know how many more people are going to compete or agree to not compete at the Arnold. But I think it takes people to do things that have never been done in order to get a different result, especially in bodybuilding, because the topic of discussion has been prize money for the past few years. And we never got into the sport for the prize money. But once you get to the top level, it is a necessity. You have to have money to compete. It is not cheap, especially when you're putting in time. You say 16-week prep. There are people that prep for, year round. They're just, you're still traveling. You're going to shows. You're doing seminars. You're doing so much for the sport. And to a degree, it's almost like, okay, I need to get something a little bit more than what I've been giving or been getting, right? And that's the biggest thing for me, especially like when I won Toronto, it was 5,000. It was USD, even though it was Canada currency, but they gave me USD. And for me, that was more than I've ever gotten for Chicago. It's more than I know Tampa. It's more than New York. And I don't know why certain shows are more, especially when you don't see them being as popular. They have the money because of the people that are coming in. That they have the money. I just think it should be dispersed a little bit evenly. And if they're not taxing the open, that's just another reason to kind of be like, see how it doesn't make sense. It's not adding up.
You know what I would do if I was the federation? I don't want to get into too much details. But if I was a federation, I would say this is the minimum amount that every division, 5,000 is minimum for men's physique. If you want to have men's physique, you should pay minimum amount of 5,000. If you're doing a show in Europe, you should pay them in euros. If you're doing a show in Japan, you should pay them in Japanese money. Whatever you're shooting the show, that should be the currency, and the person should receive a check.
Is that 5,000? Oh, I'm sorry. Is that for the first place winner, or you talking?
I'm just saying a number.
Like a baseline for
baseline. Yeah, 5,000, 10,000, whatever they want to pay. Like Pittsburgh now is paying 25,000, which is great. We should all go.
But you got to understand, when you talk about the federation, those promoters are paying them in USD.
So you're talking
they're paying the federation, right? But the federation should say when you promote a show and your winner, because the federation, the promoter is paying the winner, right?
They should convert it to wherever you're from.
Yeah, they should say.
So then you're saving on taxes. They should take the hit, not the athlete, is what you're saying.
Exactly. But they should have the minimum amount for an athlete. Just have everyone a same amount, just like a baseline amount. If someone want to pay more, amazing. If someone want to pay less, that's not possible. So 5,000 should be just an example. A lot of small shows, they pay 1,500, 2,000. That's not okay. That's a joke. Then don't have a show if you can't afford an athlete. If you can't pay $5,000 in first place, then you shouldn't have a show. 5,000 should be the minimum. Just an example. The classic should be this much. Open should be this much. Just everyone should have the minimum amount. Yeah. And then big shows like Pittsburgh, New York, Dubai, these type of shows should have also we have big shows. 10,000 is the minimum amount. If a sponsor come in and they want to pay the men's physique guys 10,000 extra, they're welcome. Dubai, they're paying almost as much as Olympia is paying, right? So that is even better. You're going to have every men's physique guy is going to go to Dubai.
Yeah. And more money is more athletes. More athletes is more fans. They're going to show
respect. Yeah, exactly. So that's what's going to happen. Every guy is going to Pittsburgh. Why? Because they're giving more money. It's a big show. It's a status. It has a status. They're giving money. It also brings value to the show. Next year, everyone is going to think about Pittsburgh only.
So what next then? I mean, I understand you're saying if you're the federation this, but you're not, right? Aaron has had a history in the past of he spoke out too, right? And we had Jeremy Buendia before that. He spoke out too, right? There's been names who have said things that were wrong and needed to change. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to give some credit to Tyler specifically. We have seen some change over the last 2 years, more than we've ever seen in decades before. So I want to give him credit where credit is due, and just the federation and the way it's being ran. But what's the next move for Men's Physique? You're making a stand now. What needs to happen?
I think what's IFBB is doing, and it's not only about the prize money. That we should know that, all of us. The way Aaron is living, the way I am living here. I'm not wearing a Rolex from 2000 prize money, right? It's not because the IFBB did so much for us. We have sponsors, we have bonuses. The IFBB really changed our life. It gave us a lot. Not maybe from the prize money, but the show, when we win a big show, we get the platform, we get sponsors, we get good deals. So that's all thanks to IFBB is doing great in that part, But the prize money is like the least of what athletes really can, look up to. Mm-hmm. That's for us, for big athletes, like a 10,000, 5,000 wouldn't make a huge difference, because you receive bonus from every sponsorship deal anyways, Yep. We make it up. But I think what's really gonna need to happen, like, there shouldn't be this huge difference between the open, the classic, and the men's physique. We're not 2012 anymore, we're not 2014 anymore. The difference shouldn't be this extreme, because they keep pushing open higher and higher. It went from 2,000 to 4,000 to 6,000. It's going extreme, and we are just stuck there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We are stuck between 15,000 and 20,000 and 30,000. That's like, a 10th place guy at the Olympia gets as much as the winner of Men's Physique gets.
Aaron, you have been very vocal about this in the past, and I think over the last maybe year, a little bit more, you've been, you know what? I'm going to play my role and take a step back. Aaron, what do you feel about everything that's where's your head at?
What's up, Men's Physique fans? Now, before we get back to the episode, I wanted to remind you guys that mensphysiqueradio.com is officially live. You can log on and make your predictions on who you believe is going to be at the top of the conversation at the next show. And if you consistently get your picks right and you are at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the month, you'll have an opportunity to win a prize from one of our sponsors. And you'll have all of the available knowledge to make your predictions as accurate as possible. We have direct links to the athlete social media accounts, so you can go see their most recent updates. And you'll also have a direct built-in competition history as the athlete continues to compete and builds their resume. So all you guys have to do is go to mensphysiqueradio.com, make sure you sign up, click your predictions, and make sure you tag us in our Instagram story post. This platform was simply made to bring the men's physique division together. And I want to be very clear, this platform was not created in order to have some kind of financial benefit from our host. Instead, we put a lot of money into this in order to bring a community together, and that's what we're trying to do with the Men's Physique Radio platform. So as always, guys, we love you, we appreciate you. Make sure you go place your predictions, and let's see who is the most accurate. Okay, now back to the podcast.
I just let things, I'm gonna just let, I mean, you can't do much, at the end of the day, I've learned to just let God run his course, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, because as a business, they're going to run a business how they want to run it. As much as we can stand up and voice our opinions, it's up to them now to kind of give us that respect. So for me right now, I'm just sitting back and just watching everything unfold and just watching the news. It's just like watching CNN right now. So
I want to put you on a spot.
Don't watch CNN, watch Fox.
Here we go. If a situation arises where a stand could be placed, and you think they would help the division, do you think you would take it?
As far as what? Not competing?
Whether it could be not competing, whether it's another call to action.
Like a strike, going on strike. I heard some comments on that to where everybody, the thing is not everybody's going to band together, but the top athletes, like, if you could benefit it by going on strike, would you?
But at the end of the day, like I said, you can't. I'm not gonna stand on not competing, because you got to understand, like Ali just said, the IFBB is that's what's given us this opportunity in this platform. But I wouldn't disrespect the IFBB to do a strike. I would kind of, again, it's just sitting back and seeing what these promoters are gonna do, because it's not the IFBB.
we have nothing against the IFBB. Is doing great job. This was not against the IFBB, and it was not about the prize money. You know, I think the whole thing turned into the prize money.
Yeah,
The prize
it's
money
not
was
about
not.
the prize money.
It was
It's
not
about
about the prize
check.
money. I made more money than almost like a winner of the the open made. You know, so it's not about the prize money. You know, there's different ways of making money of the sport. You know, there's not only the prize money on stage. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not about the prize money. It was never about the prize money, and it was never anything against the IFBB. I think IFBB is doing a great job. They gave us a platform, and they gave us I said all these things on Instagram openly, and no one said anything like bad to me. Right? That's the freedom that we get from the IFBB.
That's true.
So yeah, this was not against the IFBB. I think the prize money and IFBB shows like Dubai Pros 50K. Pittsburgh is raised to like 25K. You know,
I think it's the respect, and I think
it was nothing. It was not against the IFBB. It was just the way the last 4 or 5 years the men's physique guys got treated at the Arnold. It was not the first year, right?
100%.
And my whole point was, if you really like to see glutes, why don't you bring another division, or why don't you just tell us not to come? Why don't you bring us all the way to Ohio and then disrespect us? It's like you get invited to a wedding, and then at the end of the day, they tell you, why did you came?
Yeah.
Like
it's like tackling the quarterback after the game. But since we're talking about disrespect, I really wanted to kind of ask you one of the questions that had been on my mind, specifically after I broke down this video. Alex was the first person to call me on the phone after. He's like, did you hear what Ali said? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be drama, what isn't. So when I finally got home, I was able to look, I'm like, you know what? He has a point. But then I started going through because I watched the whole stream. You know, I wanted to make sure that I had, all the parts to the story, because sometimes people don't know and then they give their opinion based on shit that they don't listen to. But I want you to walk us through, obviously after you won, going to the press conference and sitting there with all the champions, and not just having fans ask questions, but having the expediter sit there and ask you one question and then replacing you with Sam Sulik. How did you feel during that moment? I know you sat there, you looked very uncomfortable. I mean, you're a guy who just won the 2025 Arnold Classic with a phenomenal package, and you're sitting there kind of being ignored by some of these other guys.
Felt uninvited. That's how I felt. And I went there 9 o'clock in the morning. I was so tired from the show. I went home 2 o'clock in the night, slept very late. I woke up very early. I prepared the whole speech, and I thought it was going to be questions, right? I prepared myself. I'm prepared nice questions. I really if they would have asked me some questions, how I started, how I got into the bodybuilding, like they asked Derek or they asked the classic guy, they would have got some very motivating answers.
Yep.
Because I'm the guy, who walked from Afghanistan. I'm the guy who walked 10,000 kilometers, started his life from nothing, But they didn't even ask me that. The question was, I think, how do you train, different with men's physique or bodybuilding? I don't even remember what the question was like. Or when someone wanted to do a first show, and how do they train? How do they need to train for men's physique? I think that was the question. So how do you need to train? I don't know. Just train.
Like everybody else.
I don't know. I didn't even understood the question that much. So I just sat there and just watch others. I thought they're gonna ask me more questions, and I hold the mic and I just fucking let the mic down. Okay, they're not gonna ask me anything. I just sat there, and I sat there 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, I just clapped for everyone saying something, and me clapping. After clapping of 45 minutes, I just left. Yeah. They told me to leave, me and a bikini girl, and my wife was just standing downstairs. She was like, "What a joke! Did they really do that to you?" She was like, "Did I really have to wake up that early for this one question?" And it really, really felt bad, to be honest.
Yeah. Is that what pushed you?
It really, that was I was ashamed, because I went back and my wife's parents were there, they came to watch me, and they were like, "How did it go? What did I do?" I was like, okay, they told me to go home, it was very disrespectful. They brought Sam Sulik, who just won a, amateur show. They brought some other athletes, I don't even know who they were, like all retired athletes. But like, why would you? I won the pro show. Sam Sulek won an amateur show.
Yeah.
Why would you replace him with me and ask him 500 questions just because you have more fan following?
Yeah. And
how much more? I don't know, 2-3 million or something, but it will come.
I'm struggling here because what you've done has woken up a lot of people. It's forced them to open up their eyes. It's forced people like Aaron, where the words that he said in the past is now being brought back to life. And now Jeremy Buendia, it's a lot of people. Jason Poston, who used to compete. You have Breon. I have Terrence Ruffin reaching out to me about you, right? There's a lot of people from different divisions coming together. And I think this is a unique time because it hasn't happened before. And I'm sitting here struggling with the thought of, like, what is next? Because I fear that next is going to turn into a week, 2 weeks, and then it's going to be forgotten.
I think what we should do is have a little bit of respect for ourselves and for our division.
Mm-hmm.
And just the top guys. I don't know. There's going to be always guys who want to do like want to get the title and get the chance to win a show. But I think the big pros should say, like, we need an apology before we go to the Arnold.
Yeah.
Not a specific person, right? A division. The men's physique division. And as long as this doesn't happen, I'm not going to go there. I'm not even go there after the apology. I'm sorry. But because I don't feel like I felt like I was not welcome there. For me, I love bodybuilding. I love men's physique. I love to compete. I love the stage. I love the audience. I love all these things. And that's why I compete. I don't compete for the prize money. I don't compete for this glass, trophy. I compete because I love to compete. I love the backstage vibes, all these things. And if that is not there, this, I don't want to do it.
You hit on something that I wanted to ask. Like you said, if the apology comes, the prize money gets increased. You are right now one of the best men's physique athletes in the current day and age of men's physique. Do you not think you'll ever go back to do the second biggest show in the world?
No.
Never.
I'm a man of my word, man. I'm not gonna go there. Everything I said until now, I did it, right? So I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna do Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, and Olympia. That's it.
Let me ask you about Pittsburgh before we transition, because I want to talk about the Arnold's actual show. But before we get there, I do want to ask you, the Pittsburgh Pro is shaping up to be one of the biggest shows.
That's going to be the biggest show of the year because, that's going to be the biggest show.
Yeah. And what Tyler's doing with the expo, what he's doing with the prize money, the sponsors, the people who are coming out to support who aren't even competing, it's going to be massive. So are you going to say that the Pittsburgh Pro is going to be your new Arnold, something you want to do every single year?
I said that, like, as long as I'm competing, I'm going to do the Pittsburgh Pro. And it's for me like a good way to, because as I said, with men's physique, we're almost at the weight limit. Mm-hmm. So we don't need to go extreme off seasons and bulk and all these things. So why not just like take 2 months off after the Olympia, then do a small prep, do the Pittsburgh, New York, and then take another 2-3 months off, do another show. Because we always need to look good for the sponsorships and everything, right? It's a good way to stay active and in shape.
So right now we have number 2 in the world. We have number 3 in the world. We have number 5 in the world. We have number 6 in the world. We have not number 6, number 7 and number 8.
You said 5, right?
Yeah, 5. We have all of those committed to doing the Arnold class, doing the Pittsburgh Pro. Like you said, this is shaping up to be more exciting than the Olympia simply because of the people who weren't at the Olympia. But not to mention, one person who I didn't name was Brandon. And he's coming back, and he has been vocal. He has been confident, and I'm sure you have seen some of the things that he said. I want to give you an opportunity to respond to him on the Jay Cutler podcast.
What did he say?
I love it.
I swear I didn't watch it.
He said his biggest competition, or Ryan Terry said his biggest competition was Brandon, and Brandon said his biggest competition was Ryan Terry.
And then he went on to say that he can expose you simply due to your structure. And he says that you have condition. Now, keep in mind, this is not stirring up. This is all stuff you can go back and find. But I'm curious to know what you think about the comments he made, whether that he can expose you based off of a structure and that, that he sees Ryan Terry as his current biggest competition, which being the champion.
Oh, what date is the show? The 10th, 11th, 12th?
Yeah, I think it's 12th to the 14th.
I will tell you the 13th.
Let's go.
The answer.
I like it.
Why? There's no reason to like. Maybe he can come better than me. Maybe I'll miss my peak. You know, you never know. Maybe it's gonna be like some guy that we don't even expect him to win. You know, like last year I went to Pittsburgh. Everyone thought I'm not even gonna make it. You know, like not even gonna make the top 5 because the year before I was 5th. I won the show, right? There can be a guy that comes like we don't even expect him to win, and he comes in and you win the whole thing. Because anything can happen. You say this is bodybuilding. You can have mess up your anything. Like the night before, you can eat too much, you can eat too little, you can hold water. Anything can happen. Look at Bags. In the morning, they said he was holding water. I don't know, but in the night, when I look at him from close by, I went to him backstage and I was like, bro, you look crazy. I was like, congrats. It's anything can happen, anything can change, anybody can win.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm number 2 and there's a guy number 1 and number 2 and number 3, and it's like it's gonna happen that way. Someone can come and beat, like someone can be number 6 and can beat anyone, right?
Yeah, and I will say this look
it was crazy, man. It was crazy. At final, he completely changed.
I thought the prejudging was still one of your best looks ever. I mean, at least the biggest look, but this combination of detail, separation, conditioning.
It was very, very good. I went to him backstage and I went to Aaron. I was like, man, this was amazing.
Yeah. You guys took probably the dopest photo that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I forced him. For the photo. I was like, let's take a
picture. But you know what? On that note, Aaron, I got a question, man. Obviously going into the show, right, there's talks. Everyone's on podcasts, they're answering questions. Sometimes narratives might be slightly spun. People see a clip comparative to the whole understanding of the actual, sentiment that's being expressed. What do you think of, I'm simple to say this, what do you think of Ali Bilal as an athlete? And I'll let you expand from it further.
I can't stand this mofo. No,
that's the
thumbnail. To be honest, man, Ali's a phenomenal competitor, man. And actually we like he said, we talked backstage and we shook hands. We talked about the narratives being switched and turned and stuff like that. And he actually went back on the interview that they kind of clipped and then kind of went and saw the whole clip and was like, yeah, it was just my fault. And again, it was just more of a mistake listening to just the clickbait, and like at the end of the day, we both want to be champions. He like I said, I respect him. He has a fucking crazy ass front shot. And again, it's just one thing that I'm gonna do and continue to do is compete. And if this is a rivalry going on for the next couple of years, it's gonna be amazing. But he's shaping out to be one of the best men's physique athletes that we've seen. And I'll tell you right now, and I hate to say it, but his fucking serratus is just fucking out of the world. And it's so damn annoying that I can't get that shit. But at the end of the day, I will control. I'll control what I can control and bring what I can bring. But you guys know me, man. I'm just here to compete and talk a little shit here and there and stir the spot. But at the end of the day, I'm just hungry as hell. Just as well as Ali is. He wants to win 5 Olympias. I also want to win 5 Olympias. So it's just who's going to be the first to get it. I'm gonna be the first one out of both of us, I think. But there's no beef, there's no disrespect. Ali, like I said, he's a phenomenal competitor, and we'll be seeing each other at Pittsburgh Pro, and we'll give you guys another show.
I love it, Ali. I'm gonna give you your platform.
No, but that's the thing, like you need to have a little bit of, the problem is nowadays people got so soft, you say one word, you say, I'm going to win. And they start telling you like, you're cocky, you this, you that, bro. Can I not even have the confidence? I do every morning 1 hour cardio. I train 2 hours in the gym. I do another 1 hour cardio before bed. Can I not even say, don't I get the right to say like, I'm going to win a show?
Yeah.
Like, And if you only say that, like I'm better or like I'm good, they start putting you like, oh my God, you're cocky. You cannot say anything. You're not allowed to say anything because, oh my God, too much. If you're that weak and if you're that soft, don't be on Instagram, bro.
Yep.
Like, this is bodybuilding. We work so hard, we train so hard. Like when I have a good chest day, I come back home, I feel like I'm gonna beat everyone. Like even an open guy, bro, because that's the feeling I get. You put tren and all this stuff in your body, you feel like you're the king of the world. And then you say stuff on social media, bro, and and people take it like, oh, they're sitting in their sofas and they're like, oh my God, you're getting too cocky, you're getting too confident.
That's the thing.
Bro, relax, man. Relax, bro.
Listening to most people, like, because of course they see how you're talking right now, and I see a lot of comments of, oh, if Aaron Banks would have said this or that, it would be an uproar. But at the end of the day, it's just what you bring to the sport and what I bring to the sport. Yeah, people may not like me. It's apples and oranges. You know what I mean? Is they might like you and like how you say
exactly.
Deliver it, but hate how I say it and how I deliver it. But we're saying the same exact things. So it is very.
I'm gonna give you an advice. You can say anything, but please add a smile at the end of the sentence. They're not gonna take it bad. That's my advice to you.
I've never heard of it. That is the best advice I've ever heard.
Say shit about me, whoever you want to say shit about, but add a smile at the end of the video. No one is gonna say anything. They're all gonna be like, "Oh, he was joking."
That might have been the best advice that I've ever heard, bro.
So if you're too serious and say it, it's gonna go wrong way.
I love it, man.
It's how you say it.
So just to clarify, you have Pittsburgh coming up. You have New York.
Yes.
Are you planning to do anything after that? Or are you shutting it down?
Dubai. I was going to say Dubai. No. What is it called? Olympia. Sorry. It took me some time.
So no Dubai.
I was thinking about doing Dubai too, but it's just too close to the. Bro, you gotta understand. I've been prepping for 12 weeks, and then I'm going to do another show in 9 weeks, and then and then Dubai is June 20th, and it's like when are you gonna take a break? I need a break, bro. I need to eat these damn caramel.
Yeah, of course. But for me, the thing was I still have 2 kilos in my weight limit. I can grow a lot. Just I don't know how many pounds. Yeah, I have 2 kilos.
People are saying. People are saying that you're already like right at your cap. So you're saying what?
No. I have 2 kilos.
Okay,
2 kilos. So with clothes on, carved up 2 days, still I was like 1.8, 1.7 kilos like under the weight limit.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not that big, man. Like I just look very bubbly and round.
Yeah.
But I'm not that heavy. Like I go very high in weight when I'm off, but like when I peak, my weight drops crazy. So I still have like 5 pounds or something.
That's crazy. So how much weight?
5 pounds?
Yeah, that's like 5 pounds. That's nuts.
Yeah, 5 pounds. Yeah, I have 5 pounds. Yeah.
What the fuck? You can even. I'm not going to say that because that's your calling card. You can even.
What's crazy? So what did you step on stage at?
I think just my limit or like 88 or 87.5.
So it'd be like 189 pounds, 190.
Yeah, 190. Yeah, 190.
Like I weighed in at 231.
Yeah, but then 41 pound difference. But look at how it looks when you're conditioned, peeled, and full. I mean, obviously you got the height, but
I'm small and short.
When I stepped on stage, I was 227.
Oh yeah, you soaked up. You dropped that water and soaked up all those carbs.
Damn. Ali,
I think for the finals, I went like crazy. I had like 3 burgers and fries, and I saw that. I had like 2 big Diet Cokes, And
I don't know how the hell you keep that core. Like you're not even. You could still hit a vacuum. Bro, it's like where's that food go?
Because I go very deep, very extreme in my diet. Like when I'm 6 weeks out, I start going very, very deep. Because I like to go very deep,
So at 6 weeks, from my understanding, at like a week out from a show, you got a new coach, and you explained very briefly it was simply because of potentially the way that he was pulling you down a little bit more aggressively, and you don't think that was the best for your look. Can you kind of tie that up with a bow so people have a good understanding of exactly what happened?
So what happened, my body, I have a crazy fast metabolism. So I start losing muscles very fast. Once like I reach that body fat, like when I'm very low body fat, and then if I keep going down, I'm gonna start losing muscle. So what I did myself the last 6 weeks, I start adding like, because my diet was so low, I start adding every 3-4 days, I start adding sushi. So I went out to eat sushi, and then I would keep the weight 2 days, and after the third day, it will start dropping again. And then the fourth day, I will do it again and again and again. And it starts stressing me because when I would tell my coach, he would be like, no, don't change anything. We're doing great. But, we were doing great because I was doing all the refeeds.
Yeah.
If I would take that out, I would get completely like,
Did he know you were doing the
flat.
refeeds, or is it something that you just did?
No, I just did myself because, I've been prepping for for a decade almost now.
Yeah.
And my first coach was like really like a dad to me. We almost like lived in the same house. And he is a very good friend of Chris Acito. They study from the same master in the US.
Yeah.
They used to almost like live together back in the time. So him and Chris Acito had the same way of working. So I learned a lot from him, and I learned my body, how it works. I tried to explain that to him, and like when I was 2 weeks out, I told him it's not. I'm losing my fullness in the back because my back was pretty full. I worked so hard on it, and it was hard to see. They was starting to lose all the thickness in the muscle because. Simply because the pop it was losing it, like I was really getting flat, and I didn't want to take the risk anymore of going just eating sushis because we're just 2 weeks out, right?
Yeah.
You really want to get you really want to get like this peak, so when you start carbing up, it hit the because if your glycogen is full and you start carbing up, it's not going to work. I told him that, and he was like, just wait until Saturday. I was like, Saturday is like, I'm 1 week out. It's not going to work. We cannot change anything. The problem with him was he only wanted to do a checkup once a week, only on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Even at 2 weeks out, he only wanted to do 1 week, like every Saturday checkup. I would send him pictures. He would not even look at it. And then I was like 8 days out. I sent him pictures. I was like, Steve saw me. He was like, you're getting very flat. The first day I saw you, difference between now, you're getting very flat. So I called Chris and I'm like, Chris, can you help me?
Wow.
And 8 days out, he told me just go and eat whatever you want to eat.
Really?
I just went to like eat 22 ounces of ribeye with potatoes, and I ate ice cream and everything. I just really ate. The next day I woke up, I sent him pictures. He was like, you can also add more food today. Like we really start carving up from like 8 days out. And then we did 2 days of low carb, and then after like really having 4 days of high carb, I start seeing my back coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it came back alive, because it was really getting flat.
You think you win the Arnold Classic if you don't make that switch?
No.
Wow.
Next to like.
Aaron, who would have the fullness if you came in flat, yeah.
Evenings, Aaron's look, no, it would have not looked good, because what the flatness can do to your body, it also take the conditioning out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're that flat, you also don't look as conditioned, as hard as you can be. No. You need that glycogen in your body. You need that food in your body to get that really the pump and the hardness.
It's actually cool to hear this, because I know that Ryan Terry has said the same thing.
Yep.
I'm known for my front. Ryan Terry's known for his front. Ali, when you first started, I mean, even when Alex was covering you years ago, you were known for the front, right? So I think a lot of it comes from metabolism. We have such fast metabolisms that our front gets in, and then we're trying to push that conditioning, thinking our back is going to follow it. But the problem is, if we get too conditioned, that back is just going to look, it's not going to look 3D. It's going to look flat like a piece of paper. The details might be in there, but it almost looks washed out. And it's the problem that I have at the Olympia, which is why I'm doing Toronto, because it's a Sunday show. So I actually thought my Toronto look is my best look of all time, because I weigh in Friday and I'm maxed out at my cap. I actually stopped training legs. So in order to, people say that I don't have a back, and I even talked to my girlfriend, and she's like, it's not that you don't have a back. You're just coming in so conditioned from the front that your back is losing all that pop. Yeah. So I'm coming in, and then I always look better after the show, after, a couple days, to where I'm eating whatever I want. And it's actually interesting to hear that you go to Chris Aceto and he knows that you got wiggle room with the weight. So you're not going to, be 5 pounds over, especially if you're balancing out your water and all of that. So, I mean, seeing you come in, and first thing I noticed was how much your back improved. I mean, Banks brought his all-time best, but you also improved on the time frame that you had. And I know we've talked on the podcast before. People want to misconstrue what we say as hate, whether I have Banks winning or I have you in second, or if I have Banks in second or I have somebody winning. People think just based on our opinions because we personally have a problem with you, or we have Banks better because he's a better personality or whatever it may be. But when we try to give our points, that's why we explain it. I'm giving my opinion based on what I see online versus the time frame. You guys keep getting better, so it's really hard. We can't just go off of pictures, because you could have a really dope post on Instagram and you might show up flat, or you could have a really, really bad post. Like Brandon used to post photos to where he almost didn't look ready, but then the final 3 days he transformed and be, lights out. So it's kind of hard to go against. So for the people that watch this, that think that we're going against it, or the last video that Ariel made to where he's not making a comment on it, because Banks is his guy. We're Ariel's guy.
Sure.
Like, it's hard for a coach to kind of break down another physique. It's not that we disagree with the look or don't think that you look great. It's just there's other components to it, to where it comes down to preference as well. So for the people that watch that, there's obviously no beef with it. We have Ali on here for a reason. A lot of people get education from what we're talking about. So that's the biggest thing that we try to push in this division.
At the end, it's like, it's a personal opinion, right? You like a tall physique. I like someone shorter. I like this. You like this. It's you putting me in the fifth place. I have nothing against that. That's your opinion. That's just what bodybuilding. But for that, for really sure, we have judges who do it as a professionals.
Yeah.
They all agree to which look they like. At the end, that's all what matters, right? It's not. It doesn't matter what Alex think. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what my follower think. Maybe there's so many people who thinks, like, even if I'm like the worst shape in my life, they're gonna say Ali is the best.
Yeah.
Because they like me. They like my face. They like my personality. They like me because from the country I am. But it doesn't matter on social media what someone puts you in which prediction. That's your opinion.
Yeah.
But at the end, we have Steve, we have Tyler, we have Bill, we have big judges. Their opinion is the last one that matters. If they put you first, you cannot sit back and argue, oh, he looked better to me. He looked better to you, but not to the judge, right? It doesn't matter after the show when people come up and say, oh, he should have won, Samson should have won, Derek shouldn't have won, this and that. That's the personal opinion.
Preference.
That's not that's not what six judges at the table sit and thinks professionally, seats from this close. You post to that person, judge.
It's the same with sports. It's the same with football. It's the same with politics. It's the same with cars.
It's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It's a little bit different than bodybuilding, right? Because this is really what you like.
Yes.
And the judges, they sit every year together. They put one specific shape and body, together. They say, for men's physique, this is like what we want to see this year, right? This is the criteria. For bodybuilding, for classic, they put a criteria, and they all get educated on that criteria, and that's how they judge on stage. So we sitting here saying, "Oh, he was better. This was better." That doesn't matter. It doesn't count.
Ali, I want to take
everyone have the freedom of saying anything they want.
That's why I wanted to kind of clarify it too, because a lot of comment sections.
I don't really.
It's for the viewers though too.
Exactly.
It's for the viewers too, because they'll watch this and they create their own narrative based on what we say. So obviously, if there was a problem, you wouldn't be on here, and that's why we give you a platform so you can talk about your story. Yeah.
And not to mention, I might predict Aaron or somebody else, but me and Ali are still talking in the DMs. Like a lot of when people think that there's hatred behind the scenes, I'm talking. And I also want to say this because I know wrapping up here on time. As a fan of you, of men's physique, as an athlete who competes at a high level, and somebody who was inspired by your story, right? Somebody who was last place and then made it to the second place in the Olympia the next year, and also the guy who messages me, to make sure that I stop talking down on myself, to make me realize how good of an athlete I am and can be. Like, I haven't had that before. And like I said, as a fan of this division, I want to thank you saying what you did, making a stand, going against the grain, and also bring the men's physique division together in a way that I never have. And also people like Aaron and Jeremy who have done so in the past as well. And now their voice is being heard a little bit louder because of the stand that you made. So again, I appreciate you, brother. Is there anything else you want to end with?
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody who have supported me in the last post, who have supported the men's physique division and all of us. So thank you guys, to Aaron, to everyone who have stood up for this, because I really felt like I was alone and the only one. It's kind of difficult to stand up for this and not knowing where it's going to go. But thank you everybody for taking my side.
All right. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.